All right, so I'm back to finish up lesson 1.3b with my extra piece of paper here. And again, I'm just going to bring my sticky note and move it here so you can see that. But as part of the equivalent expressions lesson, I want to talk to you, like I said, about why these three expressions are actually not equivalent or actually not equal by going through some examples with you. So I'm going to go ahead and start with the first one. So I'm going to prove why x squared is not equal to x. And in every situation, I'm always going to let x equal the value of 4. So off to the side, I'm going to say let x equal 4. In this first problem, I see that x is being squared. So anytime I'm going to take a number and substitute it or replace a variable with it, I'm always going to use parentheses. So for this x, I'm going to put 4 in parentheses and then square it. And then remember, this is not equal to 4. So again, x is 4. So that's why I'm replacing every x with a 4 that's in parentheses. 4 squared means I'm taking 4 times 4. So I get 16. And then, of course, over here, I don't have to do anything with this 4, so I'm just going to write down 4. Obviously, then, if I look at 16 and compare it to 4, these numbers are not equal. So this is why x squared is not equal or not equivalent to x. Let's look at number 2. Number 2 says negative x squared is not equal to positive x squared. Again, we are going to let x equal 4. So to replace this x, I'm going to copy the negative or the opposite sign. I'm going to put 4 in parentheses and square it. Remember, this is not going to be equal to what 4 in parentheses squared equals. On this side, before I take the negative and multiply it with the 4, remember in order of operations, exponents come first. So on this side, I have to do or perform 4 squared first. Again, 4 squared is 4 times 4, which is 16, and I have to carry down this negative sign or this opposite symbol. Remember, this is the opposite of whatever x squared is. So that then does not equal what 4 squared is, because 4 squared is 4 times 4, which is 16. And even though the numbers are the same, they have opposite signs, and so it's clear that negative 16 cannot equal 16. Therefore, going back to the beginning, remember, negative x squared is not equal to x squared. And this is why. Last problem, so number 3. Negative x squared is not equal to negative x in parentheses squared. So I'm going to go ahead and remember, let x equal 4. And I'm going to rewrite this expression for every x. I'm going to put a 4 in. So the opposite of 4 squared does not equal, in parentheses, the opposite of 4 squared. So technically I should have little parentheses in here. All right, if I look on the left-hand side, remember exponents come first before anything else. So on this side, I have to think about what 4 squared is first. So 4 times 4 is 16, and I have to carry this opposite or this negative symbol down. On the other side, or the right-hand side of my equation, I can see that I have parentheses within parentheses. And for order of operations, remember, parentheses come first. So if I look inside this parentheses, I have a negative, or the opposite of 4. So negative 1 times 4 is negative 4. So in simplifying this step, all I did was simplify what was in parentheses, and I got negative 4. So now when I think of negative 4 squared, that means I'm taking negative 4 and multiplying it by negative 4. Negative times a negative is always a positive, so this gives me positive 16, where on the left-hand side I still have negative 16. So again, negative 16 cannot equal positive 16. Therefore, that's why when I go back, I can clearly see that negative x squared does not equal, in parentheses, negative x and then squared. So again, here I'm proving to you why these three expressions are not equal to each other. And that is part of that lesson, or finalizing that lesson 1.3b. So then in my next video, if we go back to our last sheet in our summary notes, in my next video, I'm going to be covering the skills and concepts that were brought to your attention in lesson 1.3c, which are technically skills and concepts that you should have covered with the 8th grade math material last year.